Most divers know Dick Rutkowski as one of the driving forces behind the acceptance of enriched air nitrox in recreational diving in the 1980s and 90s. But this is only one of his contributions to human underwater exploration. Dick is mainly known throughout the world for his knowledge of diving and clinical medicine, gas and diving support systems. Dick joined the U.S. Navy in 1950 as a radio operator. He initially served in Pensacola, Florida, where he first learned to scuba dive off-duty. During this period, he served as a radio man on the carrier Franklin Roosevelt and as a radio man at Byrd Station in Antarctica for a year. This launched several years in the Antarctic and Arctic, serving polar operations of the Environmental Science Services Administration. In his honor, Rutkowski Glacier was named by the Advisory Committee on Antarctic Names for his work with the U.S. Antarctic Research Program as a radioman meteorologist at the South Pole Station in 1962. While at the South Pole, he was president of the Lions Club. In 1965, Dick's professional diving career started with commercial diver training for the Atlantic Oceanographic Meteorological Lab for ESSA, which we now know as NOAA. Over the next 20 years, as director of NOAA diver training, Dick trained thousands of divers for government agencies and helped establish diver training programs and dive safety boards for such agencies as NOAA, NASA Johnson and NASA Kennedy, the EPA, the Panama Canal Zone, and many other state and government agencies as part of his duties. At the same time, he was a diver and scientific technician, installing and recovering instruments around the world for NOAA. He also became a certified instructor for PADI, NAUI, and the YMCA, and helped to support these programs. In 1970, Dick began working with Morgan Wells, director of NOAA Diving, on using nitrox for science diving, but also co-founded with Ed Brown Dive Incorporated, which provided dive services for oil rigs. 1970 onward, he served on and supported NOAA's Hydrolab habitat in the Bahamas. He worked directly and indirectly with all the NOAA saturation or habitat programs until his retirement in 1985. In 1975, Dick's involvement with hyperbaric medicine expanded with NOAA and the Florida Underwater Council, opening a chamber to serve South Florida, the Caribbean, and Central and South America. Through the efforts of the Florida Underwater Council and the DEMA Dive Club, both nonprofit organizations, a chamber facility was built and run by volunteers, and the first diving medical hyperbaric training at the Atlantic Oceanographic Meteorological Lab took place the same year. Medical staff included Mark Kaiser and Dr. James Lowenhurst. By the time Dick retired from NOAA in 1985, more than 500 divers had been treated there. In 1988, when the facility was closed, the facility had treated approximately 800 divers. Among many other accomplishments, from 1975 to 85, Dick co-directed with Morgan Wells the NOAA Physicians Diving Medical Program and established the original facility at the Johnson Space Center Neutral Buoyancy Lab and helped build numerous facilities throughout the world. In 1985, Dick established Hyperbarics International, located at Ocean Divers in Key Largo, Florida, which builds hyperbaric facilities and provides hyperbaric medical training for facilities all over the world. To date, more than 7,200 medical staff have attended Dick and Dr. Lowenhurst's courses at Hyperbarics International, and he is still going strong. Hyperbarics International introduced nitrox to recreational diving in 1985, which led to Dick, Tom Mount, Brett Gilliam, and Billy Deans founding IAN-TD in 1991. Dick has founded or co-founded 8 other companies related to the underwater world. With numerous accolades and recognitions honoring his contributions, Dick Rutkowski has been a major force in helping diving become what it is. A highly accomplished underwater explorer himself, he's taught thousands of divers and helped mainstream the use of nitrox to the recreational dive community. Over the years, his training of professionals in the treatment of divers and clinical medical chamber use, as well as diving accident management, has made a big difference to literally thousands of divers suffering from decompression illness and other diving maladies. To a man whose career has taken him around the world, and a lot faster than most can say the same, thank you, Dick, for the many ways you've made diving a better, more wonderful experience for all of us.